What's going on, guys? Aaron with Lansing Lawn Service. Today I've got another driveway repair to do. Let's check it out. Okay guys, so starting right here at the front, at the mouth of the driveway, we have a huge pothole here. I mean, it goes from, it's about like that. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I can't see it in my viewfinder, but it's just because the sun is so bright today. But we've got a couple of huge rocks in there, so we're going to have to kind of work around those a little bit because I can't dig those out. At least I don't want to. I want to leave them there. That's part of the base. So we're going to have to move some of this stuff down to fill this in. But first, I got to break up the structure of this pothole. So that's something that we've got to do. And then as we keep going up the driveway here, there's a little pothole there and some bigger potholes here that we're going to have to deal with. The crown is okay. It's not terrible until we get up closer to the house, so we'll have to fix that. We've got a huge double pothole here. We got to break that up. As you can see, it's getting down into that bigger stone. That's when you're getting down to the base of the driveway. This one I think has plenty of aggregate though to fix really nice without having to add anything. It's just got some potholes. They get a lot of water probably coming off of this hill. So more potholes here. This is where the crown goes away, and it's an inverse crown, so it comes down into the middle here. So we're going to try to fix that a little bit, bringing some of this stuff in from the sides, fix that up and make it look nice. We're going to get it as good as we can get. So I hope this video turns out, because it is so bright and sunny. It's about noon right now, so the sun is directly above me. So it might affect the view a little bit of the film. I hope not. I'm going to do this driveway in sections. So I am going to work on the big pothole out front here first, and then we're going to move on down the driveway. So let's get to work. Alright guys, so I have had some comments on some of my videos that it would work better for me to pull the Ventrac, drive the Ventrac up on the trailer front ways with the implement in the front, which I get it. That does make sense. However, I cannot do that because the gate on the trailer is very short, and so it makes it very steep. And with the Ventrac, you cannot lift the front of the implements up very high, and so they will catch on the gate and just rip up the gate. So I can't get them on the trailer that way. I have to back on the trailer. So that's why I always back the Ventrac on the trailer rather than driving it up on there. I would much rather drive it up on the trailer, but I can't. That was something I didn't know when I bought the Ventrac and when I bought the trailer. So I'm not super pleased with the trailer design, but you know, it is what it is. This is what I have, so this is what I go with. Now, I want to make sure that you guys stay tuned till the end of the video, because I am going to have some spectacular before and after pictures of this project. So stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss the way this driveway turned out. It was spectacular. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video so that you can see those before and after pictures. Now, what you see me doing here is I am actually breaking up the big pothole. There was a huge pothole at the end of this driveway. Of course, I already said that, but there was a huge pothole, and you can actually, now that the gravel is darker, after I've worked it a little bit, you can see where it dips down. That is a huge pothole, a huge low spot there that has to be filled in. But before I can do that, I have to break up the structure of that pothole. So that's what you see me doing here. And there's actually a lip out front there, so I'm digging that up and pushing that gravel forward a little bit to help fill in that pothole just a little bit, because this was a huge problem area for these people. So that's what I'm doing right here. And now as I'm driving up the driveway here, I don't have the power rake very low. It just goes down a little bit, maybe a ½ inch, just to break the surface up of the driveway. Now the reason I stopped where I did here, simply because of filming. All right, it has nothing to do with the driveway, nothing to do with any potholes there. It's simply because I'm filming, and if I drive all the way down the driveway, I can't get good shots for you. So that's why I do the driveways in sections. I would much prefer to do the full driveway, go the full length of the driveway, and really work it up. But because I want to give you guys something very satisfying to watch, I have to do the driveway in sections. Again, here I am digging way down. I'm talking 4 inches down into the gravel to break up potholes that were right in this area that you see me working. Now, as you see me driving over that, and it's very bumpy, that's just normal. That's from the power rake pulling up so much gravel and piling at the end where I pick up the power rake, that it's really bumpy until I smooth it out again. So it was a super dusty day this day. Luckily, there was a nice stiff breeze, and it was blowing most of that dust away, so I didn't get super covered in dust like in some of my other videos. But I gotta tell you what, it was still really dusty. There were some points where I could not see where I was going. It was so dusty. So that's just part of the work that we do here. It's part of the job. Now, as you can see, I'm going down the sides a lot. As I work this driveway, I'm going down the sides of the driveway a lot, and my drum on the power rake is always angled in. Why is that? Well, it's because I am pushing all that gravel, not all of it, but a lot of it, to the center to help put a crown on the driveway. You want a driveway higher in the middle and lower on the sides. That way the water drains off the top and goes to the sides. That's the way you want a driveway. That's the way you want a road. It's so that you don't get potholes forming in the center of your driveway. And that's why we put a crown on gravel driveways. Now here again, I'm adjusting the drum down farther, and then I'm digging into that dirt and going backwards because the power rake actually spins at a higher rate of speed going backwards. Now I do have this video sped up to 2 times faster, so it's 2x speed. So that's why everything's faster and all that stuff. But I'm digging down in potholes again, breaking up the structure of the pothole. As you can see, just in front of the front tire it was really, you can see it dip there. That's where those potholes were. And I'm just backing up, ripping that up, breaking up the structure so that those potholes don't just come right back if they get filled in, because that's what happens. If you just take new gravel and you buy a bunch of new gravel and you have somebody bring a huge truck and just tailgate your gravel driveway, you're not fixing the problem. You're actually just putting a Band-Aid on it, and you're just filling in the potholes, but the structure of the existing pothole is still there. Over time, in some instances, less than 3 months, those potholes will be back because you're just driving on it, water fills it up. If it's in the winter time, you're going to have the freeze thaw, and that gravel inside that pothole is not part of the pothole structure where it's super packed hard, so you're just going to get a new pothole there. But if you go down and you break that structure up, then you have a really nice driveway. So if you're going to put gravel on your driveway, that's fine. That's there. You can do that, and you should do that, but you have to get the driveway fixed first before you put new gravel on, or else the problem still exists. It just disappears for a couple of months. It takes a lot of work to get the driveway where I want it to be, just pass after pass after pass, pushing that gravel into the middle, getting it all, fixed up, moving the gravel to different areas and things like that. So it just takes a long time, just lots of passes back and forth to get the driveway to where it's nice and smooth. And then at the end, when you're ready to finish it up, you just drop that drum down maybe half an inch, just so you're skimming the top of the gravel, and that really puts a nice smooth finish over the entire driveway. One thing that the power rake does that, say, something like a box blade doesn't do as well is when it tears up the driveway, it mixes up the fines and the heavies. What I mean by that is the fine grit, like the fine sand or whatever you want to call it, in the gravel and the gravel stones. It mixes that all back up, and it gets it back to a nice mixture. And I feel like a box blade doesn't do that as well, and it just kind of, the box blade will dig it up and it'll mix it a little bit, but you don't have that drum action to really get a good mix on it. So I think a power rake does a much better job of repairing driveways than, say, a box blade, because it just has that mixing, and once it rains on the driveway and that driveway packs in really nice, just like this one. Like normally I would want to do a driveway repair soon after it rained, because it's just easier to repair. It's less dusty. It's the gravel works up easier, and when you're all done, it packs better. However, when you're doing a driveway like this in dry conditions, you have to wait for that first rain, and then when that rain comes, that driveway will pack, and it will become a nice solid driveway again, where the fine stuff and the bigger stone is mixed together, making that really good solid roadway that gravel does. Gravel is one of the best things to use if you're going to do a driveway, because it packs so nice. Now, yes, you have problems with gravel. You can get potholes. It can be impacted by the freeze thaw, and you can get potholes that way. So there's still going to be issues, but you can get the same thing. You can get the same type of stuff with concrete and blacktop, because you can tear things up. Whether if you're using a snowplow, you could tear up the blacktop, or you could catch an edge on paved driveway and rip something up. Sometimes, what do I want to say? Cement driveways, they can start peeling away and chipping away on top, and it's from the freeze thaw still. And so you still have the same issues as you would have with a gravel driveway. So in my opinion, gravel driveways are one of the best ways to go if you're going to put in a driveway. Now, if it's a short driveway, I would certainly recommend either paving it, or cement driveway, or paved driveway if it's short. But if it's long, a cost-effective way to go is gravel, as long as you maintain it. So if you're going to keep it maintained, just do it that way. There's companies out there that make things that you can pull behind a riding lawnmower that will work your driveway up, as long as it's not terrible. All right, now this driveway was far beyond what one of those pull behind things could fix. This needed something heavier, something that could go deeper. But the things that you can pull behind a riding lawnmower will keep your driveway nice if you maintain it. That means you're going to be dragging your driveway like once every 2 months or so, just to be sure that you're not going to get any potholes. So that's something to consider if you're putting in a gravel driveway, or if you have a gravel driveway that needs to be repaired, and it's in this shape here where there's large potholes, they're deep. You're going to need something like a Ventrac or a box blade to fix that driveway. Then after that, then you can drag it with one of those drags behind your lawnmower and keep it maintained, and you'll never have to get your driveway repaired like this again. Especially if you do it properly, if you get a nice drag where it's got kind of a box and you can angle that box to continually keep that crown good, so you're not losing the gravel off in the sides on the grass. That's a really good way to go. But if you're just pulling like a harrow or whatever behind a lawnmower, or like a fence door, like a chain link fence gate, because some people do that just to drag their driveway and make it look nice, you're not getting that pull towards the center of the driveway. So eventually you will have to have something done where it crowns the driveway again. So that's something to keep in mind if you have a gravel driveway and you're looking to maintain it after it's been repaired. You can't just throw gravel on a driveway and expect it to be good for 15 years. That's not the way gravel works. Rarely there's anything that works that way. You have to maintain things. And so I am working on a maintenance program for gravel driveways that I have repaired. So I can just come in for a low fee. I've already repaired the driveway. I can come in for a low fee and go over the driveway, maintain the crown, and it will be much less cost and much less time for me to come in and maintain that driveway that I've already fixed and keep that crown so the driveway is always in great shape. Now here what I am doing is I am filling up that big pothole at the end of the driveway. So what happened here with this driveway is, as they pull into the driveway, for whatever reason the gravel was loose here or something, and they would kick the gravel up. The gravel would follow them up the driveway, and so there was a hump where I'm pushing right now, there was a hump there, so I'm taking that hump out and I'm moving it back into that pothole so that the driveway is nice and smooth again, and you don't have a hump, a high spot, and you don't have the low spot. So that's what you see that I'm doing here. And it just takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And what happened on this particular job is I pushed the gravel just a little too far, which is fine. You're going to see me go on the other side, and I'm going to be pushing that gravel back, what seems like back up the driveway, but it's actually just filling in that end of the pothole there. And so that's what the power rake is really good at, because the Ventrac has a float mode, so it just floats with the contour of the ground, and it just smooths that driveway right out. And we're getting close to being done here, because I've just gone over the driveway just continually and really worked it up so it's nice and smooth. I've filled in all the potholes, and now we're just completing that process by smoothing and grading the driveway. That's why I can go so fast, because I'm just grading that driveway. Again, still working at keeping that gravel in the center of the driveway, maintaining that crown, always maintaining that crown. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just making sure all the potholes are filled in, all the low spots are filled in, all the high spots are taken out, and that's what I'm doing here. Now, I've had a couple of questions. How do I get all these gravel driveways to do? Where do I find these? Well, I'll tell you what. I find all these driveways by advertising on Facebook. I use my personal page, and I advertise in community groups. So I'm a part of a few community groups around my area, and I am allowed to post one business advertisement per week in most of these groups. So that's what I've been doing. And I got to tell you, whenever it rains, that's when I advertise, because people, as you've seen on the videos, when it's dry out, it's hard to see on the video those potholes. Now, they're much easier to see in person, but after it rains, for some reason, people do not like mud puddles. They think about mud puddles in their driveway, and so that's what gets people to call. So every time it rains, I post an ad in these community groups, and every single time, without fail, I have gotten 2 or 3 requests for estimates to fix gravel driveways. And that's how I get my gravel driveway repair customers. All right, guys, so we are done with this one. Let me turn you around and we'll show it to you. All right, so we're right here at the mouth. As you can see, this big pothole that was here is completely filled in. That was a job to do, but we got that done. And we improved the crown a little bit. But most of it is going this way. So because of the hill, I crowned it a little bit, but most of it's just going to run this direction and down the side here of the driveway. And that's just the natural form that we have here. Now, there is some weeds in here. They said just leave those. So that's what I'm going to do. There was a bunch of potholes here. Low spots, that's all filled in. This spot here, that is in the yard, so I can't get over there to fill that hole in, nor the hole up there. So those are just left. Those will actually probably fill up with water and maybe some gravel even if it rains. We're going to get some rain tomorrow, so at least hopefully we get rain tomorrow. And then up here, I mean, we just smoothed it all out, got it looking good, and we did this part in front of the garage here as well. So we got this all dug up, all the weeds kind of piled up that direction, and I think it looks good. I mean, it's a little weedy, but that'll all die off. So all in all, I think this one turned out really good. It was a challenging one, as a lot of them are, but I think we turned it out really good. There was a low spot here that we filled in really well, And man, I really think that the homeowner's gonna like this. I think they're really gonna be pleased with it. Okay guys, so let me know what you think of this project down in the comments below. And as always, as we always do, here are some before and after photos of this job. They are satisfying. And that is it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.